Okay. All right. Well, so far so good. I appreciate you all listening and hearing the presentation. Row one will be kind of the fun part of the AIN group, which I'm proud to be a part of. We're kind of a home entertainment away from the electronics. We do everything from chairs to home theater the box, which we'll get to. Real quick history of Row one. A lot of people have and have not heard of it. Many have heard of the chain of stores called Theater Extreme, which was out of Wilmington, Delaware. They were on the stock exchange over the counter. They were growing extremely well. They had about 20 stores going and adding several stores every quarter. The only problem was they were 60% owned by Circuit City, which kind of put them out of business. Through that, I was also one of their suppliers, and they created the name Row One to advertise all the product they have. Instead of being under the brand that they bought, they rebranded everything Row One. So in the markets that Row One was established, the name is fairly well known. So anyway, when they went to bankrupt status, figured, well, why not? We picked it up out of bankruptcy, and now we have brought Row One out to the general dealerships across the country. And over the last 6-7 years that we have had it, it has done extremely well, and our growth has been more than phenomenal. So that gives you a little bit of the background so that you know where it did originate. Real quick, we have domestic and import, which is an advantage to AIN dealers on one reason is that sometimes you have a project, you have plenty of time, sometimes something comes up and you don't have a lot of time. So we offer both an in-stock program and a domestic. The domestic products are made in North Carolina, so it's a U.S.-made company. We can custom order from our fabrics and leather, and it's about a 6 to 8 week turnaround time, which is better than the average usually for a custom product to home theater. We have different layouts. You can do a straight row, you can do a curved row, you can do sofa and love seats, and that's becoming more and more popular in home theater. One thing about Row One, when we do market testing, we make sure we include women to be part of that fancy man cave. And what we have learned, and I think most of you guys would agree, is the women want to kind of do maybe a little cuddling or put their feet up, relax, and don't want to feel like they're in a chair. So we do have a sofa love seat combination that you can do. The import side of the line, again, we have it in Hickory, North Carolina, which makes it convenient for both domestic and imports coming out of the same area. We have it, as I say, we use bonded. And one thing to get to understand is there's a lot of different leather, bonded leathers out there. Bonded has a bad name due to a lot of the low-end companies coming out with very inexpensive chairs saying, hey, this is made of die-cast leather or bonded leather. In the case of our product, it is a very high-grade bonded leather that's commercially used. So you probably have heard horror stories about buying it from the cheaper chair companies that the fabric tends to sunburn or blisters and peels. But with ours, you actually repair it the same way you do leather. So it is a better quality. And that's another reason why our prices are higher than the low end that people out there. Most of our products in stock, which again is a big advantage, because a lot of times you are in a tight crunch, or you found an opportunity where you can sell some chairs quickly. So we do have them. Black and brown, of course, is 95% of the sales, but we do offer a couple new groups in gray and taupe to go more into the family room type situation, because again, a lot of people say, look, I want home theater, but I'd rather have it as a family room setting. So we'll be able to offer that, and I'll show that to you in a minute. We have it also in different price points and sizes, and you have some situations where the room's a little bit small and you want to get maximum seating. So you can do that, and other people want a budget chair, and we have those too in stock. Again, we're emphasizing the name row one home theater to row one home entertainment. And that is because of the recreational and the basement situation where it's not a true dedicated home theater. We brought up, again, it's made in North Carolina for domestics. You have leather vinyl match, we have fabrics, so we can do a lot of different color variations and price variations. One thing we do is with their headrests, we're making sure the headrests are totally padded, not just blown in foam where they lose their shape. This way that whenever you recline, your head tends to still face the TV and not staring at the ceiling, which in a lot of recliners you can see people put pillows behind their head or their hands. Many of our styles have storage arm and trays, which is pretty valuable, where you can put magazines, remotes, and also store your tray. We have also an option which is very popular is the blue LED lighted cup holders, which also control power chairs and light up your base rail, which gives you kind of a nice mood or a nice ambiance in the dark room. The end result is I'm sure that what we come up with, your customers are going to like. This kind of gives you a couple styles that we have on our domestic side. You can see the Skyline, which is the 8032. It's a smaller scale chair, but you can see it still offers a lot of look. But again, you have a lot of rooms in home theater to find out the average that Theater Extreme learned was usually a 15 by 20 square foot room. And people want to try to get as many chairs as you can. So we have a small scale chair here called Skyline, which does accomplish that. And then our next popular chair is the Polaris, which is quite a larger chair, but you can see with the way it's seating, a little bit of a curve in the seat. So as I say, women like it just as well. This one here, you can see the lighted blue lights there in the LED kit. It also comes with a storage arm and trays. So this is our upper end. Again, we pad everywhere. And so it's not just a piece of fabric pulled down the sides of the back like a lot of the lower end companies do. We fully pad everything. City Lights, which is on the some black group there, the 088. That's our #1 style in the small scale. You can see it has a nice height in the back. Again, you can put that into a smaller room, but still have a fairly wide seat that will fit most everyone. The Manhattan 8090, again, that is our #1 chair on the line. It's just a good basic style that go any room setting. Again, with our domestics, you have manual and power option on all of them. Again, you can do a curved row, you can do a straight row, you can put a love seat, and then an armchair, 2 armchair. You got all kinds of options, including the different fabrics selections. The newest ones that we brought out just at the April market was the 8088, which is the Horizon. So you can see it's got a nice button back, gives you a more formal look for a home theater or home entertainment room. Again, if you make it into a sofa love seat, people don't realize it's actually modular. The Ballard, you can see it has a nice curved seat. So these kind of give you an idea of some different styles that we have that can appeal to most anyone. We also offer a personal chair riser, and what the purpose of this is that a lot of times the rooms that you're doing are multi-purpose. You may wire a room for home entertainment, home theater, but they're going to want to play ping pong. And so they would like to have a second row that was still higher than the first row. So here is an option where you can actually put a chair riser on the second row, and then if you need to move them, each chair can be moved off to the side, and the risers are attached to the bottom of the chair. In the row 1 line, we also offer a riser that will go into a room. In the import stocking program, we have our Lux Coil pocketed coil spring cushions. Again, we want to emphasize as an import product line, you are getting an upper end quality line at very, very competitive prices. Because we use 1.8 density foam. Most of our competitors use a 1.6. That it gives you the more resiliency with the coil springs built in. the best way I put it is that, yeah, go ahead if you want to buy a less expensive seat. Do you want one that will last for years like our product, or you want one that after a while, you know how it is when you're on an airline seat, after a while you kind of shift around, you can't get comfortable. Well, what happens is a lot of times is that they break down the cushion, break down the spring system, and next thing you know, you have a very uncomfortable chair. We want to sell one that will last for quite a long time. Most of our imports already include the locking device, so if you want to lock the chairs together, it's already installed under the chairs. So if it's not the case, nobody would notice it, but if somebody says, okay, yeah, I got a row of chairs, I want a locking device, they swing out and they lock right into the chair. And also with the program we have, we're going to make sure that our warehouse does have a good stocking program for the imports. We're also, for AIN dealers, coming up with a domestic quick ship program, which we hope to have in place the first of the year. This is our #1 import share. And even from the picture, you can see the quality that I'm talking about. Everything is fully padded. The one thing we do is that we use Leggett & Platt, which is out of Kentucky, for the mechanism. That way, if it's import or if it's domestic and you need to have it repaired, Leggett & Platt is a supplier. Even long after warranties, a customer can actually go and get replacement mechanisms. Also, it's near the wall recline. It gives you like 4 inches from the wall, so that gives you maximum room space. You got, as I mentioned, you have the coil springs, you got the cup holders, you got the tray, the dangling device, and even being able with this group, you can curve the group to be a wedge if you want more of a curved personal setting. Being home entertainment, we also come up with some different things. This is called Evolution. The sofa that you see there, it opens up. You can see what the lady on the right side, or my right side, could be your left side, but you can see there's a full 3-seat sofa. But then, boom, you drop the center section down, and voila, you got a kind of a fun piece with built-in lights. You got electrical, USB built into it, drop-down tray, storage arms, and power headrest. So this has been catching on quite well in the home entertainment area. Just to kind of go over it a little bit so you can see just what we were talking about. It's made of fabric, but it looks like leather. It's a PU, long-lasting PU. Deep storage arms. You have the zip-in crumb catcher. We're trying this out where you can actually zip the seat to the back. So if you know when you recline, you lose your change, your comb, or popcorn gets back there, you have to go behind the sofa or chair to clean it up. This way you just reach into between the two and you can clean it up right there. Power headrest. Adjustable lighting that was in the center that you saw, and I'll show it to you again real quick. Got the good cushion story. You have 2 cup holders on the drop down. You got the blue lighted Sense Touch cup holders. Drop down built-in tray, as I bring it up with the USB power outlet, Leggett & Platt. You can see you also have a pocket for store your tablets, which is in the back. We'll see it in a second. And you have a good seat and good arm height, which is something that we also pay attention, again, for the women as well as the men. So here gives you an idea of the power headrest. And here's the lighted blue cup holder. And here's when you drop down. You can see the nice thing about this drop down, it actually could be a mini home theater setup. And it does quite well for a condo situation where, hey, I would like to have home entertainment set up, but I don't have the room. Well, where our center drop down, you plug it right into the back. There you can see with a DVD player with a mini projector right on it, and you can shoot it up on the wall 10 feet away, and it looks great. And you can see the little pocket there in the back that you can store your tablet or DVDs. And then finally is the storage. The storage is strong enough to even hold the projectors you can see being put in. In there you have, there's a drop-down center seat so you can see it a little bit closer. And there you can see where the lights are located, which is nice. You can just sit back, relax, and read, and the other person can watch TV. There it is. If you just want to discharge your phone, you can do that. And then there's the crumb catcher that zips in the back of the seat. And the features went over real well on the idea that I don't have to clean behind the chair. The other group is called Genesis, which we've done so well with the Evolution. We brought out Genesis as a sectional, as you can see here, a great party animal. Everybody's comfortable here. You get in the drop-down section, but here's the fun part of this group. Not only is you got these features, you got, again, the polyurethane fabric that feels like leather, you got the well-padded arms, you got the cup holders, I'll go into it real quick, the density foam, the drop-down tray. Here's the big thing. We have a built-in speaker system with a subwoofer, and the sound is great. It's operated by the Bluetooth. You got the Centicup power recline, again, which is a good feature. Again, flat, as I told you before. You have a drop-down arm, which I'll show you, that has a hidden cup holder. 3 power seats in the group. Individual sofa, love seat, and chair are now available for those who don't have room for the sectional. So here's the drop-down with a drawer below, which you can store your projector or your gaming equipment or whatever you want to put into that drawer. Close-up of the speaker system with the Bluetooth and the control and a USB. And there it is, very close. So you can see exactly how it looks. And there, the front pops open, and that's where your cup holder is. So it's truly a nice setup. In the love seat, you got a storage center console with a USB and power. And there's a nice power Sensitouch switch for recline on both love seat seats. And there's where the subwoofer is located. So here's the new sofa, they have brought out in the group. So now you have the sofa love seat chair in the same combination. So if you don't have the room, the sofa has a drop-down front, again, with the Bluetooth and a speaker system. So that's available, and the love seat is built identically to the sectional. And here's the new styles we have just introduced at this past High Point Furniture Market. The first group is called Galaxy, which looks like a typical home theater seat, but here's it. It's got a personal touch to it. What is the worst thing about a home theater room for basics? You have 2 or 3 rows of chairs. And if you have 4 people at a party and 3 of you on the row behind you, and you have 1 in the front, you're always looking over your shoulder to have a conversation, a visit. Well, we have created the swivel chair to go with it. So you can have a front row of swivel chairs. That way they can turn around, put their feet up on the riser, have a nice conversation, visit. Okay, it's time to watch the show. You turn around, you lock it in, and you recline and enjoy yourself. So that was very popular at the market. We brought out the Mega Sofa. And the Mega Sofa, as you can see here, hey, if you want to have a nice rec room situation, a nice home entertainment, home theater atmosphere, boom, you got this piece. It's available. And you can see you get the whole family and your dog right there, comfortably sit there and enjoy life. Then we brought out the Andromeda. We've had such success with the Evolution. The Andromeda was another step, more family room oriented with a different cover on it. Again, it has all the same features as the Evolution, the drop down, the lights, the lighted cup holder, and the base rail. These 3 did very, very well in High Point. We also have custom consoles and wall units. These could be changed size-wise. If you want doors and drawers, you want glass, you want speaker cloth, you want wood, you want a custom size. With row 1, all our cases are made by the Amish. So that way, you know, it has a quality story behind it. It takes a little while to get it, but usually when you have a custom project, you do have some time. So we're looking at maybe about 8 to 10 weeks at the onset, usually, to get these made. But shows you the further extension of what row 1 is. Now, the big thing is people have heard about, we have done it. This was a very successful program for Theater Extreme. They did, over the years in business, they did about 7,000 home theater rooms across the country. Out of the 7,000, almost 20% of them was called the home theater out of the box. It is a totally modular program that was patented back, I think it was in 2000. And you can see here how the room looks and the pieces that are available. And each of the rails, the crown molding, all comes in 6-foot length. And then there's supports, as you can see below the 2 columns there, the different supports that do hold up the crown molding across the ceiling. And that's where all the wiring goes. So from that point, what I would like to do here real quick is just give you a quick video of how the whole system works. We're here at the High Point Furniture Group to show you a very exciting concept. what we call a program that helps you out of the box. A multi-year program that begins with day-to-day math. We have an appearance that will actually install the program, show you how the program goes together, how easy it is with them. The tools you need for this will be a well, cordless drill, tape measure, immediately heavy wall makers. And with the notice the precision comes to two pieces, you know what's that. How do you know exactly how line everything is preset from the factory, so all you have to do is slide it in place. I'll get it together as a slide of puzzle. It's really not a lot of things. Everything is preset. Our columns are two ways to do it. Solid panel front, or your head. Here you have a shelf, and I put you for the yellow graphic is that wall. Sure, and for the present will come up. But how do you actually put it in at the right time? So you have about 15 parts of the and design and wall with practice. These holes here, the outside is what you would just a hundred. That screw for the base here for whatever height you want. And the option is for you now at the top of the thing. I don't know where it is. Anyway. The first bit of the crown line is actually attached to that corner block. It goes pre-cut with a film rack attached. So this is what it will do. We've already established a line of the grills. Here's the plug that will cover the tool. It's for the fish. All the crowd already come for the fight. She always comes down. But let's show me how that can go look like. Now with that, so from this point on, how long do you think it would take? Just not long. I'm sure it will be up to 20. Great. Now, the basic package of this is like 20. How long would it take to order that install? Okay, well, I'll give it to you. Okay. One out of two things. One, the session does come with the solid count. We remove for speaker box, it comes with a clear center channel. Everything comes with matching H-rail to go with the crown holder. One thing about it, table one, all the wiring throughout the crown holder with all this, the wiring drops into town. So that way you don't have to draw on your walls, crown walls. It's kind of a small package. One of the final pieces of this multi-out-of-box package, or the one package, is the clip-on. Clip-on is a piece that we have to put behind the chair. It comes to KD. It's very simple, just like everything else that we've seen. And to finalize the car, we don't do the same 80% on them. The clip-on is one of those personal pieces for one line. They put back chairs, watching movies, sit back, paperwork, computer work, also take a lot of people. And you can also use behind the software and your work at home. So that kind of gives you an idea of the concept. It's really slick. It's nice. You find a lot of rental homes will take it because they offer it as a room package for an extra $50 a month. We can set you up with a home theater, wham, they get the deal. And then when somebody moves out, you can remove it and take it with you. So it's a kind of a portable situation. The way to put together, you saw, it just provides something unique, inexpensive, quick to do. To say in one day, if you have everything in place, you have all your electronics as well as the room, you can get the room pretty much up in one day. So all the electronics are sold by you, the retailer, installers. All we do is the actual wood pieces. You have actually 23 finishes you can do it, but the most popular of 90% everything is our cherry stain. So why row one? We're priced right, comfort, quality. Again, we use Legenplatt Oaken, so that it's easy to service when there is a problem. We have very, very little issues because we make sure it is a good quality product. You have manual chairs that have the trigger inside, so you can have a two-way. Fully padded again everywhere, sides, backs. You'll see the only exception is the Galaxy because it's a dual motor type chair. We also fully align underneath our imports. That way it does help to protect from moisture. The difference between an import chair and a domestic chair is imports, have to come across the ocean to get here. So we just try to do a little extra protection there. All our consoles are custom made. And of course, I just showed you the video on the Home Theater Out of the Box program. Sell it with ease. You got pricing. We make it very simple. There's one thing about our pricing people like is every piece is priced the same, whether it's wedge, straight arm, two arm. We price it by the seat. So that way, if a customer asks you about, okay, I love this setup, but I want to do a wedge, love seat, every seat is the same price. That we have multiple configurations you can see here. This is like the back of a catalog page, so it shows you all the different models we have in a collection, and also give you an idea about the layout that you see there at the bottom. We have promotions. We have one out right now. We will be sending out another one for AIN dealers. We'll be going out at the end of the week. I'll get it over to Renee so we can get it out to all of you. But we have a minimum. It's just 3 seats to become a dealer. So we do have cases where dealers said, look, I'd like to get your sales material. We sell the material basically about $50 to $100, depending on what you want, for the complete catalog and fabrics. And then once you place your order, you'll get that credit back. However, we will automatically email you the price list if needed. And you can use our website to actually look at product if you prefer to not have to pay that charge. Anyway, you find that row one has great potential, and hope that you guys all would like it. Here's what the requirements are. We have a credit application to fill. Credit cards are accepted with a slight processing fee, but we still need to have the credit application filled out because we have to know where you're located, where you want product shipped, and so forth. And then the direct contact, I'm always available. I take calls whether I'm traveling or in the office. You have Dorothy here at the office who knows everything about row one, and Kathy in customer service. So you'll find that we're very responsive. We really care about our dealer network, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're growing so rapidly. And then there's our website. You can see our product. And bottom line, I hope you have fun selling row one, which I'm sure you will. And I want to thank you all for the time and attention. And I look like I just ran over 5 minutes. I apologize for that. So I leave it open to any questions.